All right, guys, despite having a little bit of a head cold today, being congested, not feeling the best, I'm really excited to come out here and play with my new Smith and Wesson M&P 9mm. Of course, this is the full size. So let's take a look at it and get some first shots out of it today. Woo! Man, that is fun. Last year I had a goal not to buy any new guns, and guess what? I reached that goal. Instead, what I wanted to do was purchase ammunition and dump money into my existing guns via sites, magazines, that kind of stuff. Well, it's a new year, so I did end up picking up a Smith and Wesson M&P. Little bit of a history with this gun. The first time I shot it was actually with nothing, and to be quite honest with you, it was all right. But the more I've come into contact with it via the late Boy Scout, I've shot his quite a bit, and just recently at the Utah Fun Shoot that we had, a lot of fun out there, thanks for putting that together, I shot, I think, a couple M&Ps out there if I remember correctly, and I'm really starting to like them. This one popped up on sale for 400 bucks, and I figured, it's meant to be. I went out and got it. So this is not how it's going to stay. I'm going to do a lot of stuff to this already, but let's go ahead and take a closer look at this, at some of the features before I start throwing some lead down range. Looking at this gun, it's a really good looking gun, I think. 4 1/4 inch barrel, if memory serves correct. And one of the things that people often talk about with these M&Ps is a gritty trigger to begin with. And I kind of knew that going into it, and mine is no different. Let's see if this will pick it up. You might be able to hear that grit right before the trigger breaks. Now, I took this apart last night and did some troubleshooting with it and tried to find out exactly where that was coming from. Took the slide off, and what's interesting is if you take the slide off and now you pull that trigger, that grit is gone. So through a process of elimination, what it came down to is it's this trigger bar, and it's riding up and hitting this firing pin block. That is actually what is causing the grittiness feel, because if I press in on this, I can actually feel it. So last night, watching some YouTube videos, I actually took a pen and I just sat there and worked this thing back and forth, and quite honestly, it did smooth out just a little bit. It does not have an ambi mag release, however you can turn that around to the left side if you are interested. You can see the serrations on the top there. You do have the Picatinny rail, and on the back you have these palm swells. Now some guys don't like these, and honestly I understand why. Most guns that I get that have the interchangeable back straps, which this is, I can't tell a big difference between all of them. I typically just go middle of the road and go the medium. These are much different. The medium, I can tell a big difference from the small, and actually I prefer the small with the Smith and Wesson M&P. You do with these grips, it does help a little bit, but one thing that I don't like about this gun, and this is the case with a fair amount of polymer guns, is I don't like how slick the handle is, which will lead me into what I plan on doing with this gun, is this will receive a stippling job at some point. At least that is my plans right now. So, gonna get a stippling job. Of course, I will put some night sights on it, and I'm gonna paint this, I'm gonna have it Cerakoted. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna have somebody Cerakote this for me, probably a tan. Anyway, I kind of want to have some fun with this gun, and I do plan on setting it up for carry. So I also have a holster on the way, so this ought to be kind of a fun process and a fun gun to get to know. One other thing I'm going to do to it eventually is probably put a new trigger. Whether I go the Apex, I don't know. I'm still kind of deciding on what I want to do with that. I did shoot the flat Apex trigger that's relatively new out, and I like that quite a bit. Is the cost worth it? I don't know, maybe, maybe not. let's go ahead and send some of these downrange. We're shooting at some still targets about 10 yards away or so. Well, you can definitely ring some still with that, no question there. Have I said I like this gun? Because I like this gun. Oh my gosh, this gun is a lot of fun. Dead on. So I'm about 10 yards away from these targets. We've got the 3 8-inch and then we've got a torso. Boy, I'm burning through the ammo. This was a lot of fun to shoot this gun. There you have it. Those are my first shots with this gun, and quite honestly, I had so much fun. I ended up going through almost 300 rounds, just shy of. So I just couldn't stop shooting it. I actually stopped on the store on the way just to get some ammunition for replenishment on what I was shooting out here, and I ended up shooting that as well because it's just that fun. I really like this gun. Like I said, just under 300 rounds, not a hiccup through it. The first 300, it shoots really nice. The trigger, while it's not as horrible as some horror stories that I've heard, it could definitely use some improvement. That being said, for the price of the gun, it's not bad, but I think down the road I will be doing something to the trigger. Exactly what, I don't know. But there are my first shots of my own Smith and Wesson M&P, and man, I'll tell you what, guys, I really like this gun. It's a lot of fun to shoot. If I do my part, it'll do its part and then some. So thanks much, as always, for watching, guys. See you later.